Hello class, I Miss Hina Sheikh from St. Paul's High School welcomes you back in the second video session of our lesson Rights and Duties Part 2. But before proceeding with the remaining part of the lesson, let us have a small recap of what we had already studied in the part 1 of the video session of the same lesson, that is rights and duties.
Hello kids, this lesson is taken from your footprint textbook for standard 4 and the name of the lesson is Rights and Duties Part 2. Hello children, giving you a brief introduction regarding what we covered in the first session of our lesson Rights and Duties. So let's start. We learned about the Constitution of India. The Constitution is the supreme law of India. It's a document which describes the rights and duties of its citizens and the way in which it is governed. The Indian Constitution is the longest in the world. It took around 2 years, 11 months, and 17 days for the Assembly to finish writing the entire Constitution, and that too handwritten. The preamble can be referred to as the preface, which highlights the entire Constitution. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the principal architect of the Indian Constitution and the independent India's first law minister. The Indian Constitution is unique in its feature. Though India became a free nation on August 15, 1947, it declared itself a sovereign, democratic, and republic state with the adoption of the Constitution on January 26, 1950. And that's the reason why we celebrate India's Republic on 26th of January every year. Getting class? Let's see further. The Constitution of India guarantees certain basic rights and duties that are essential for the well-being of every citizen. These are known as fundamental rights and fundamental duties. Certain fundamental rights are provided to us by the Constitution of India. Fundamental means something that cannot be taken away from us. Some of our fundamental rights are as follows: right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, rights to constitutional remedies. The Indian Constitution also lists down the fundamental duties. Some of the fundamental duties are: number 1, we must respect our Constitution and its principles. Number 2, we all must respect the national flag and the national anthem. Number 3, all the people of this country must be united and live in peace. Number 4, we must help the government in our own ways in times of danger. Number 5, we must treat everyone as equal. Number 6, we must take care of public property. And number 7, we must protect our environment. Now kids, let us learn about the directive principles of state policy. So let's start.
So kids, what did we learn till now? We learned number 1. The Constitution of India is the supreme law of our country. Number 2, the Constitution tells the government what it can do and what it cannot do. Number 3, the citizens of India have been given some fundamental rights by the Constitution. Number 4, when these fundamental rights are taken away, the people can go to the court. And number 5, the fundamental duties are also being laid down by the Constitution of India for the citizens. So children, you must have understood till here. Now let's go little bit further and study about the directive principles of state policy. What is this directive principles of state policy? So let's see class.
Directive principles of state policy. These are the guidelines that are stated in the Constitution of India necessary for the framing of laws by the government, but are not enforceable by the court. That means our Constitution has laid down some guidelines for the government to govern in a better way. These guidelines are called the directive principles of state policy. Our government must try to follow these guidelines while making laws and policies and putting a law into practice. However, it may not be possible for the government to ensure all of this completely. Getting kids? Citizens cannot go to a court if the directive principles are not followed by the government. These principles apply to the union government, state government, and the local self-government. Directive principles of state policy relate to social justice, economic welfare, foreign policy, legal matters, and administrative matters of the country. Some of the directive principles are: number 1, secure a social order for the promotion of welfare of the people. Number 2, promote the educational and economic interest of the poorer sections of society. Promote means to support or encourage something. Economic means relating to business, industry, and trade. And number 3, provision for free and compulsory education for children. So kids, we have covered all about the civics lesson, rights and duties. Let's continue with the homework or assignments based on this lesson. So, our first question is: give 1 or 2 words for the following. Number 1, the document where the basic rights of the people of India have been mentioned. Number 2. The privileges given to the people by the Constitution. Number 3. The duties laid down by the Constitution for the citizens to follow. The next question is, answer the following questions. Number 1. What is a constitution? Number 2. State two fundamental rights given by the Indian Constitution. Number 3. Explain the significance of the directive principles of state policy.
So here I end up our civics session today. Whatever I have taught you, make an attempt to see it, go through it, read it, learn it. Go through the assignments too and try to complete it up. I will be back soon with some another video. So till then children, stay at home, stay safe, keep cleanliness around yourself. Bye. Thank you.